we're going to be diving into what makes a man have that magnetic, charismatic, just overall a guy that, you know, girls are attracted to and even guys just gravitate towards. Now, it's rooted in one thing, bro. Literally one thing, and that thing is confidence. Just be confident, bro. Yes, it's the truth. You've heard it all your life. But there's really nothing that can replicate true confidence. Now, true confidence is something that can get you literally everywhere in life. Okay? Whenever girls see you and you have just, you know, you're overflowing with confidence. You're overflowing in the fact that you are who you are and you don't care about anything else. You're not trying to be something you're not because you're okay with who you are. You're on the right track in life and you know it. That's confidence, right? Now, being a masculine guy is rooted in this confidence. Not to mention, confidence allows these women to feel feminine. It allows them to fall into their feminine because the true essence of masculinity is that confidence, okay? I have confidence up here as my first little bullet point, but these other 3 bullet points are all led by, you know, your confidence, okay? So without confidence, these other 3 bullet points, they're not gonna work, okay? Simple as that. So how do you become confident? Well, bro, it all starts with being content in who you are, okay? So I wanna read this little, The Way of the Superior Man. I wanna read you the very first paragraph of this book, okay? Chapter 1, it's titled, the title of the chapter is Stop Hoping for a Completion of Anything in Life, okay? And what he says in this quote at the start of the chapter is, most men make the error of thinking that one day it'll be done. They think if I can work enough, then one day I can rest. Or one day my woman will understand something and then she will stop complaining. Or I'm only doing this now so that one day I can do what I really want to with my life. The masculine error is to think that eventually things will be different in some fundamental way. They won't. It never ends. As long as life continues, the creative challenge is to tussle, play, and make love with the present moment while giving your unique gift. Dude, this is the first paragraph in this book. And I've read this book twice now. And dude, what he's saying, what David Deida, however the hell you say his last name, is saying, he's saying that, dude, you need to be content with who you are right now. Because if you make $100,000 a year, that's not going to change who the fuck you are. Newsflash, bro, you're not going to be some different guy just because you have a six-pack. You're still going to be insecure whether you have a six-pack or not. It all starts with who you are. So, dude, be confident in who you are. If you're not confident, you have nothing. I was feeling like a damn philosopher whenever I wrote this one. Eliminate the idea of a destination. Hunter, what the hell does that mean? Let me tell you. So basically, bro, the idea of a destination is like telling yourself that once I reach this point in my life, then I'll be happy. Once I get a six-pack, then she'll find me attractive. Once I make $100,000 a year, then, you know, I can have the life that I want. Instead of being content with how your life is right now. Don't get it twisted, always strive for more, but be content and go get after shit right now. You need to be content with who you are at your core, okay? That way you can be confident. That way you don't need validation. That way you don't feel like you're glorifying this end destination because you're content right now. And the next line in this book says, it's never gonna be over, so stop waiting for the good stuff. Newsflash, bro. The good stuff is right now. Be so in the present moment, okay, that you appreciate the shit that's going on in your life. Because one day you're gonna wake up and be like, damn, I'm 55 years old. Maybe you're 55 years old watching this. You're gonna blink, one day you'll be 75. Okay, life moves fast. So be in the moment, be present, be grounded, and be confident in who you are. Okay, that being said, still strive for greatness. Right? But don't think just because you make a certain amount of money, you're going to magically turn into this charismatic guy who's actually confident in himself. No, this shit starts now. Just because you're fat and out of shape doesn't mean whenever you get skinny or you get muscles, you're going to become confident. If that is the case, guess what? It's a false form of confidence, right? If your confidence depends on how you look, it's not true confidence, bro. Confidence is who you are, right? It's not the amount of girls you've slept with. And these guys don't understand this. I'm tired of seeing these damn dating coaches saying, oh, I got a 1,300 lead count. Bro, you're just telling your audience that you're an insecure motherfucker, okay? Like, bro, what's, like, literally, I kind of feel bad for the guy. Anyway, now, masculine guys, they're confident in who they are to their core, okay? And you can do this today. You could be fat, you could be broke, you could be whatever. But as long as you're ambitious and you're confident in who you are, you will attract. And whenever I say attract, I'm not just meaning girls. You'll just become a magnetic man in general that gets what he wants in life. Okay? Now, whenever I say be confident, something that comes along with that a lot of guys, that even a lot of confident guys don't grasp the concept of, is removing the need for validation. Now, only the superior confident guys on earth have mastered this one. I'm still working on it. So whenever I say validation, I'm not saying, you know, wanting people to tell you you're doing a good job. Yes, that's kind of like the surface level things, but what you really need to perfect and really grasp the concept of would be stating your opinions and stating whatever the fuck you believe in without fear of consequences, without fear of stepping on anyone's toes, okay? Disagreeing with somebody above you, theoretically in power, maybe disagreeing with your boss about something. Most guys, whenever they get into a conversation or a social setting with somebody who they view of importance, they try to put on this sort of performance and craft themselves in a light that makes them appealing to whoever they're trying to talk to, whoever they're trying to get their approval, right? Maybe it's your boss, maybe it's a girl you're talking to, maybe it's somebody who you want to make your friend. Most guys try to suppress their actual feelings to appeal to that person, right? Maybe they're talking about the Super Bowl and, you know, your boss thinks that Seattle's going to win, but in reality, you think the Patriots are no doubt going to win. You know, most guys will kind of be afraid to voice that disagreeing feeling and just, you know, be like, hey, I got the Patriots winning all day. You know, subconsciously, whenever you kind of like suppress your actual feelings, it's because you just want to feel validated by this person, right? You're afraid to disagree with them in any setting you're in. So the true masculine guy, the guy who doesn't give a fuck, he removes all his need for validation because he's content. He voices his opinions because he's got big nuts. He doesn't care, right? He's going to be himself regardless. And the truth is, people will respect you way, way more whenever you're disagreeable, whenever people see that you won't, you know, just become a yes man and just conform to everything that they're saying, right? They'll respect you more. This is a very masculine trait that not a lot of guys have, okay? So don't be afraid to speak your truth regardless of who it is, to a girl, your boss, whoever. Don't suppress who you are, bro. Where's my other book? I can't find my other book right now, but it's called The Millionaire Fast Lane. And it explains there's 3 different lanes to becoming wealthy. There's the sidewalk, which is people who don't have a fucking clue what's going on. There's the slow lane, which is like people who make a little bit of money, but their lifestyle increases with the amount of money that they make to the point where, you know, they don't have enough free time, which they thought they would. For example, a doctor that makes very good money, but his lifestyle is so lavish that he doesn't have the freedom to really live how he wants to live, right? He's still clocking in every day and slaving away. Now in the fast lane, you figured out that money can buy you freedom, okay? So you figure out ways to leverage your money to buy you freedom, and you don't live above your means. The principle of the book is to never live above your means, okay? So whenever you're led materialistically, you're overcompensating and you're trying to get everybody else's approval because you don't feel like you're enough just who you are. You don't need the biggest house if you can't afford it. If it's gonna cause you to, give up some of your freedom, why would you buy a bigger house? Why? To try to look cool, to try to get other people's approval? No. Okay? You don't need a bigger truck. What you need is to work on yourself. So bro, this whole video boils down to being confident in who you are. Whenever you develop that true, genuine confidence that can't be shaken, no matter what is on the external in your life. True confidence comes from the inside. And whenever you develop this, you will start to notice that your life is changing. You're starting to attract more girls. Because girls are attracted to this confidence. Learn this shit, bro. That's all I got, fellas.